Today, I'm 86 years old, and I was born in the Luthuli family, and everybody was still worrying about land. So it's been an issue for a long, long time. I would say myself that the colonizers were reckless. It was a question of war after war. We come back now to where we are. Yeah. People are still asking for land. After all the decades and decades of talk, where I started and all that, it does not seem to have reached the minds of those who really possess the land. I don't hear much what they are saying, about, I don't hear much what they are saying about the call that now is taking the form of, you see, as you move from generation to generation with the same story, ancestor, my father, my parents were dealing with this, and so on. And you're getting generation after generation. Surely, you are going to find that people lose patience. Look at the art houses where people are supposed to live. 10 people occupying that little thing there. Especially land which you feel that it's too much for one person. Oh. Some of it is just for prestige, and it sits there. It's too much for one person. As South Africans, we haven't got an outside invader now, but we are actually at war with ourselves. There are those who took the land who continue to be in denial about the depth of the harm that was perpetrated on those from whom the land was taken. There's denialism. And at the same time, you have the other side, which now has lost, patience with this whole thing, which has been going on for decades and decades and decades and decades without a solution. Time has come, as I'm trying to point out there, for the debate and for the talk to be real. Otherwise, one can think of a situation which can become very dangerous again. We talked of wars, over land. What would stop now the present people also perhaps going to the point where we have a war to resolve this problem? Is that what we want? It happened in Zimbabwe. I was in exile in Zimbabwe at the time. I saw it. I saw it happen. Where now it can't be controlled anymore. I never owned land where I was. Never. There was no way. I never owned land in the countries where I lived. And for me, South Africa was my home. Yeah, the only place where at least I can say that I can own land, and even that doesn't come. What situation is that? Let us sit down and have, a reasonable and rational, approach to this. I'm not saying there isn't at the moment, but I think it's all over the place. Give a chance that land should be redistributed. And if, in fact, there's anything which stands on the way of that redistribution, then South Africa has got a lot of clever people, commissions and all that, who can really work out that if the Constitution stands on the way, or the Bill of Rights, or whatever, deal with it.